space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its continuing mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no one has gone before.
Hello and welcome to Crowforest Reviews. So last time I sort of said that I would do a Star Trek review, and then I didn't. So today we're going to be taking a look at Star Trek. This is Star Trek: The Next Generation, the game. Oh, and for those of you wondering why I didn't do this last year for the actual anniversary...
Because shut up.
So the episode opens...
I know you're back there. Don't make me come after you.
Not in space. That's unusual.
Anyway, Riker is on the planet with his girlfriend of the week.
Because, well, Riker is the Kirk of the Next Generation.
And said disposable love interest gives Riker a plot device in the form of a game.
What is this?
It's a game. Everyone here is playing it.
What am I seeing?
The playing field.
So Riker clears the first level of the game without much difficulty, and upon doing so, the game gives him a good feeling as a reward for clearing the level.
What was that?
Your reward for clearing the first level.
That sounds sketchy. Anyway, after the opening credits, Riker reports for duty on the bridge, where he receives this bit of information from Picard.
And one piece of good news, we're to rendezvous with a shuttle carrying Wesley Crusher.
Wow, it must have been a really bad week if Wesley coming over counts as good news.
Sir, I know this may finish me as an acting ensign, but
Shut up, Wesley!
Anyway, Riker heads down to engineering to meet with Geordi and brief him on their current mission at the Phoenix Cluster, and Geordi, in turn, provides some exposition.
You know Robin Leffler?
Of course.
Well, the work around here has been so sensational, I've decided to make her a mission specialist.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Translation.
You know Ensign never seen her before. She's going to be our plot guru for the evening.
So anyway, before leaving engineering, Riker tells Geordi about the game, and that he simply must try it.
Geordi, I brought something back from Risa that you have got to try.
I'm starting to think there might be something slightly fishy about that game.
Anyway, Riker heads down to 10 Forward, where he then tries to push the game on Deanna Troi.
I brought something back from Risa. Better than chocolate.
Okay, now I know he's under alien mind control.
Oh? What is it?
Just a game.
And so is she, apparently. There is no way she would have agreed to that statement otherwise. Damn it, Troy! This is the third time this month.
The Paxons can manipulate energy structures on many levels. They took control of Counselor Troy's body to communicate with us.
So cut over to the transporter room, where Wesley is beaming aboard the ship.
Chief O'Brien.
Welcome back, Wesley.
It's here that we first see that Wesley is in fact wearing a Deep Space Nine/Voyager uniform, whereas everyone else is wearing a Next Generation uniform. This has nothing to do with anything, it's just cool.
Anyway, Wesley asks Miles O'Brien where everyone is, and O'Brien informs him that everyone is in a meeting. Wesley, of course, decides that he should crash the meeting, but it turns out that everyone was expecting him to do just that, so they all try to scare Wesley with the standard stand in the dark and say surprise prank.
Surprise!
Mom!
Wesley, was our attempt to make you uncomfortable effective?
You bet it was.
Gotta love Data's brief moments of clarity.
Before leaving the observation lounge, Riker recruits Wesley into helping with the Phoenix Cluster crisis, and Troy recruits Dr. Crusher into playing the game.
Oh, great. This is freemium isn't free all over again. Don't give in to Ultimate Farmville!
So anyway, Wesley and Data are walking down a corridor, and Wesley is filling Data in on all of his many misadventures while at the Academy.
Presumably because Data is the only audience that Wesley can find.
The first week that I was there, this guy named Adam Martoni reprogrammed the sonic shower to cover me with mud. It took me a while, but I got him back really good.
Good for you.
Well, to be fair, that is pretty much the only response you can give to a statement like that. But it turns out that Data has the perfect solution to Wesley's problems. Teach Wesley how to dance.
I would be happy to teach you dancing.
Did I miss a few lines? That doesn't really seem to follow.
I'll let you know.
That's Starfleet for not a chance.
Anyway, over in engineering, Wesley finally meets our plot guru, and the two of them instantly hit it off.
Aye.
Hi. Your neutrinos are drifting.
Is that supposed to be an innuendo?
For what?
Their dialogue is just as insufferable as you would expect it to be, but it is infinitely better than anything Michael Bay has ever written, so I'll give it a pass. In fact, I think I'll go ahead and retroactively make this my Valentine's review. It is much better than that piece of crap. Anyway, Dr. Crusher calls Data to sickbay to help her calibrate a tricorder.
I'm sorry to bother you with it, but I need it done quickly.
It does not bother me, Doctor. In fact, I am happy.
Well, that's a real turn-off. What? You were thinking it! So with Data turned off, Riker and Troy enter sickbay, where Dr. Crusher proceeds to sever several of Data's neural pathways. Wait a minute. Was there actually a point to Troy and Riker being in that scene, besides just looking menacing? They didn't actually do anything in that scene.
Anyway, Dr. Crusher calls Picard and Geordi to sickbay to inform them that Data is incapacitated.
Though she gives a slightly fabricated account of how that happened.
He came in complaining of a servo malfunction, but my scans came out negative, then he just collapsed.
I would question why Data, the non-human android, would go to sickbay with complaints of a malfunction, but Dr. Crusher is actually one of only 2 crew members with enough knowledge of Data's anatomy to help in such a situation, so kudos on a plausible cover story.
So anyway, cut back to Wesley and Robin in engineering.
You have a funny way of looking at conduit configuration, but it works.
That's Law 36. You gotta go with what works.
What are all these laws that I keep hearing about?
Oh, they're just my quirk. They're a quick way for me to be identifiable to the audience, considering they've never seen me before.
They're my personal laws. Every time I learn something essential, I make up a law about it so I never forget.
That's a very odd mnemonic.
Why do I get the feeling that you already know me?
I may have read a few fanfics. Now, who am I kidding? I wrote a few fanfics about you. And they're canon now. Yeah, I know more about you than you know about you.
Is it true what they say about your birthmark?
No! It does not look like a pygmy puff. It looks like a Hungarian horntail. So, after a little more witty banter that I'll spare you from, Wesley goes to his mother's quarters where he finds her playing the game.
Wesley!
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm, embarrassed to say. This was meant for you.
What is it?
It's a game. Riker brought it back from Risa.
May I suggest Rhizome, my evil emperor?
The planet of the vegetarians, yes!
No, that's Rhizone. Completely different place. Any similarity to other places is purely coincidental.
Dr. Crusher tries to get Wesley to play the game, but Wesley informs her that he's already late for a dinner date with Robin, and he declines.
But then his mother becomes rather disturbingly insistent.
Why don't you invite her here? We can all play the game together. I can replicate a couple more.
That's a little weird.
Just one game. Come on, try it on.
Mom.
And now you're kind of scary. I'm gonna leave now. Bye! So Wesley meets up with Robin in 10 Forward, and after a little small talk, they begin to discuss the game, and how everyone seems to have become obsessed with it to the point of becoming mindless zombies.
It's everywhere. See what I mean?
Oh, I'm sure that's nothing to worry about. It's a very common reaction to hearing Wesley's romantic dialogue.
So anyway, Wesley and Robin decide to do a thorough analysis of the game, and they discover that the game emits an energy beam into the brain that not only makes the game highly addictive, it also compromises the victim's higher reasoning functions.
So naturally, Wesley does the logical thing and takes this information straight to Captain Picard so he can fix the crisis.
There's a game going around. It's something that Commander Riker brought back from Risa. I did some preliminary tests on the game, and what I found leads me to believe that it may have some harmful side effects.
Oh wait, he does do that? Oh great, that means they already got to Picard. Really? Picard? They got Picard to play the game? How did that conversation go?
I think you should try this game. No. But I think you should. No. But it's fun. Well, alright then.
Yeah, I don't buy it. And judging by the disinterested look on Patrick Stewart's face, he doesn't buy it either. So anyway, Wesley meets back up with Robin, and they try to figure out what to do. They're both becoming increasingly paranoid, not knowing who they can trust.
This game is so addictive. There's only one person on board we can be sure wouldn't be affected by it.
Data.
Well, him and Picard, but the writers seem to have forgotten that he's reliable.
And he managed to get injured right when the game was brought on board?
So they go to sickbay to check up on Data, and they discover that his malfunction was indeed an act of sabotage.
Only 2 people on board know enough about Data to do something like this. Commander LaForge and my mother.
Awkward.
Anyway, realizing that Wesley and Robin are onto their shenanigans, Picard orders a security team to track them down and force them to play the game.
Wow, that was an odd sentence.
But fortunately, the Wonder Duo are prepared for such an occurrence, and they have made fake games to fool the security team.
Anyway, the Enterprise rendezvous with an alien ship, and Picard orders Worf to open the hailing frequencies.
Report.
Welcome, Itana. The Enterprise has been secured. We await your further instructions.
What? Do you mean to say that the obviously evil game this whole time has been evil?
The Qatarians commend your efforts, Picard. Once the expansion is complete, you and your crew will be rewarded.
Actually, this is a really good reveal. Not because we didn't know the game was evil, but because this is where we learn the true nature of the game. The object of the game is not to get discs into cones, it's to get other people to play the game.
The game is not about mind control. It's about mind manipulation. The Enterprise crew sell out the Federation not because they are forced to, but because they have an unquenchable desire for that ever-increasing high.
A high that can no longer be satisfied with mere discs and cones.
Those merely serve to get them hooked on the sensation, but now they can no longer give a satisfactory high.
No, to get that, they must clear level 1. Surrender the Enterprise to the aliens.
That's the real game. The discs and cones are just a facade. And now the game will go as far as they are willing to take it.
Level 1, surrendering the Enterprise. Level 2, the Federation. Level 3, the Alpha Quadrant. And with the highs getting ever better with each level passed, no one is going to stop, and the aliens have already won. All it took for this unknown alien race to conquer the Federation was a game. Or at least that's how it would have ended if not for Boy Wonder.
Wesley meets up with Robin in engineering, but he's too late. The Enterprise crew have already gotten to her, and now Wesley has no choice but to run. Riker and Worf chase after Wesley, trapping him in a force field, but Wesley activates a site-to-site transporter and gets away. The chase goes on a bit more, with Wesley faking them out a few more times, but eventually they catch him and take him to the bridge, and force a game over his head. But just when it seems that all hope is lost, the lights go out, and Data steps onto the bridge wielding a blinking light, which reverses the effects of the hypnosis.
So Wesley managed to fix Data, and now the ship is saved. But everyone is pretty understandably shaken up by the experience. Picard orders Worf to trap the alien ship in a tractor beam so that they can drag the ship to the nearest starbase to take the crew into custody. The aliens, meanwhile, offer no resistance, having negligible firepower compared to the Enterprise.
Tactical analysis, Mr. Worf.
Their weapon systems are substantially inferior to ours. They are not a threat.
And then, just to end on a happier note, we get one more scene of Wesley and Robin. Oh, come on. You need to throw a lot more lens flares over that. Don't you know anything about how to frame a shot? Right, Michael Bay? Huh, you thought I was gonna make a J.J. Abrams joke. So that was the game. How was it? It was really good. While the darker tone may not have fit with Gene Roddenberry's original optimistic view of the future, this episode was very well done.
The acting, as always, is superb, and the writing, aside from a few obvious plot contrivances, is pretty good. And this episode gives us a few interesting visuals.
So overall, very good episode, and I would definitely recommend it. Well, that's all for now. Until next time, here's your kid-friendly clip of the day.
Your neutrinos are drifting.
Through what?